This worksheet is auxiliary projection. This is sheet 1 and it is on page 10 of your workbook. There's a few short questions here that get us back into doing auxiliary elevations is what we're looking to do here. First question here, we have to complete the elevation and we have to draw an auxiliary elevation looking in the direction of the arrow. To make a little bit of sense of these, it can be a little bit tricky, I'd put on a couple of construction lines. Alright, the construction lines I got in there. I'm going to start by labelling my elevation. This side is complete in the elevation, this side isn't. So I'm going to call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I've got 6 points, 1 and 2 when I bring the construction line down are here, 1 and 2 are together. Number 3 is here, number 4 is the one in the middle, and then 5 and 6 are together. That will help me a little bit when I get to come up and do my elevation here. So I'll project up my points for the elevation. So I'll project up my corner. Now I'm going to use the same labels on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 5 and 6 are here. And that means when I go to project them up, I can use my heights from the points that are here. So I'm going to take these heights across. Then I take up 1 and 2, gives me 1 and 2 in the corner. So here is 1 and 2. Point 3 when I take it up, bring it up, and point 3 across. So here is the position of point 3. So there's 3. Point 4, I take it up, and again 4 across. So here's where point 4 is. 5 and 6 are in the back corner, and we get 5 and 6 are there. So the shape of my elevation, 4 down to 3, to 2, to 1. That is the elevation completed. I have to draw an auxiliary elevation, looking in the direction of the arrow. First I'd check and see is it at 45 or 30. It's at neither. So it's not 45, it's not 30. I can't use the t-square. So to project this out, I'm going to project out a construction line looking in this direction of the arrow. I'm assuming the arrow is in the direction of this side. So I'm going to project out construction lines out here. And I'll bring them all together. So for each of my points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, I'm projecting out my construction lines. I need to set up an XY line. It's at 90 degrees to the lines I've just drawn. So in other words, take my set square, come over here a little bit, and I'm going to put in a new XY line. And I'll put it in there, we'll say. Anywhere at all, doesn't matter where. It's a new XY line, so it's called X1, Y1. I'm drawing a new XY so that I'm going to draw a new auxiliary elevation. That's what we were asked. We're drawing a new elevation. It's called an auxiliary elevation. We have our old elevation. I can take the heights from the old elevation. So heights in any elevation. I can have a front elevation. I can have an end view, which is an end elevation. I can have an auxiliary elevation. They're all elevations, meaning the heights are always the same. So the height of point 1 is on the XY line. It's 0. So here's the height for point 1. I can project up 1 from plan. Here is point 1. It's on the XY line. Height of 2, measured from the XY line. Here's the height of 2. Project out 2. I follow it out. Here is 2. Height of point 3 is the same as point 2. Take the height of point 3. When I project out, I get point 3. Here's point 3. Height of point 4. I can take it on either side, it doesn't matter. Height of point 4. Here's my height for point 4. And 5 is the same. I follow up point 4. Here's the height of point 4. Height of point 5, as I said, it's the same. Follow up point 5. That gets us point 5. And point 6 was on the XY line again. Out point 6. Point 6 is on the XY line. And what that's given us is the true shape of the side. I'll make sure to draw it in. Horizontal lines will be parallel to the X1, Y1 line. So I'm making sure this line 2, 3 and 4, 5 are made parallel to the X1, Y1 line. Otherwise it won't look right. That is my auxiliary elevation done. Second question is the exact same. I have to complete the elevation of the money box and draw an auxiliary elevation. So again, I've labelled my points 1, 2, 3, 4. I found them in plan. I'm going to copy the same labels over to here. So this is 4 and this is 3. And it means then I can bring the points up onto my lines. So I take up, for example, and I'll extend these across horizontally. I take up point 1. Here's point 1. Point 2 is directly above. Here's 2, 3, and 4. Sorry, 3 is up here. So point 3 and point 4 is on the XY line. And I won't see point 4 until I come up to the elevation. So I can't see 4 in plan, but I do see it in the elevation. That is my elevation completed. The money box piece is identical. So again, I can take my lines across the slot of the money box. Top point is here. Bottom point is here. And the reason I know they're the right way around is that this angle will be parallel. So that is the 2 points I found are parallel because they're parallel in plan. Those 2 lines are parallel in plan, meaning they'll be parallel in elevation. That's it in. To draw the auxiliary elevation, it's actually at 30 degrees. So I can use the set square here with the t-square and I can project out my auxiliary elevation at 30 degrees. So I take all my points out. And again, my heights, I'm drawing an auxiliary elevation. I've actually got the XY line set up for me, so I'm going to take my heights. Point 1 is on the XY line. Take out point 1, it's on the XY line. Height to point 2. Project out point 2. Point 3. Project out point 3. And point 4 is projected out, and again point 4 is on the XY line. Point 4 will be on the XY line. Shape of the money box is 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. That is the true shape of the side of the money box. So I'm looking in directly at the side of the money box. Third question is this one. So we have to draw an auxiliary elevation of the box up top. I'm going to label the points. Okay, well, I've labeled the points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. It's a little bit confusing looking in the elevation. This side here is here in elevation. This left hand side looks like a line in the elevation. So when I come along, point 1 is here. 2 is directly in front. 3 is here. 4 on the side. Sorry, that's 3. My mistake. 3 and 4. Down the bottom, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So 4, I get 5, 6, 7 and 8 is in behind it. 8 is there as well. I label those in plan so you can see them. Now I've labeled them up in plan. The surface A is here. This is the front surface and this is the side that we're dealing with. So 4, 5 when I bring them down are both here. 3 and 6 both here. 2 and 7 are both here. And 1 and 8 are both here. Now I can go and draw the auxiliary. The auxiliary, it may be at 30 degrees, you can see. It isn't, so I can't use the t-square. I have to project off at 90 degrees to my surface A. So I'm looking in here in the direction of the arrow, which is 90 degrees to surface A. I'm going to come back parallel, and I'm going to project out my construction lines at 90 degrees to that surface. So construction lines are projected out. And my XY line. XY line goes in at 90 degrees to those. The handiest way to set up your XY line is that 90 degrees to these lines is parallel to this side. So see that side? I'm just going to go parallel to that. Take it off a pair of it, out of the way of the two drawings. So in other words, it's away from the elevation and it's away from the plan. X1, Y1. And straight away, 5, 6, 7 and 8 are all on the bottom. They're all on the ground, meaning they'll all be on the same line. The height for all of those, when I come along, 5, 6, 7 and 8 are all the same height. So when I come up, I get 5, 6, 7 when I come up, and 8 when I bring it up. So what you're looking at here is that the box is raised about 20 mil off the ground. So it's just up hovering over the ground. Again, those lines are horizontal in real life, so they should be parallel to the X and Y line. So I've got the bottom line as well. Now 1, 2, 3 and 4 are all the same height. So when I come along, I'll project up 1, 2, 3 and 4. All of those points are all the same height. I'm just extending the lines up a little bit. I didn't make some of them long enough. So again, to go over it, take my height of 4 just for one of the points. Height of 4 is here. Project up 4. And I get my point. Here is 4. 3 when I project up, same height. And I get 3. 2. Again the same height. And 1. And it's gone into the corner of it, so I'm going to draw it in biro so you can see it. And again, that top surface is horizontal. It's parallel to the XY line. So when I come to my elevation, the same rules apply. Top surface needs to be parallel to the XY line. So when I come and draw it in, here's my top surface. Here is my bottom surface. And I've got my lines in between. Come in and drawing all the lines. And what this is going to give us is the true shape of surface A, because I'm looking in at 90 degrees to it. That is my auxiliary elevation drawn, and surface A is this surface here, and again that surface is a true shape.